Hello, everyone. Good morning. And I know where TraMys is from. It is 10 p.m. So thank you for doing this. Today we are chatting with Tram and Nguyen from Kidspire, Vietnam. I practiced her name for a while, and now I'm proud to say that I can say this name. She is a lifelong learner who is passionate about education, children, science, technology, and spirituality. Trame is country director for Kidspire Vietnam, and they serve disadvantaged children and youth by offering different educational programs to help them build confidence and to prepare them for the future after they leave the orphanages. She's the initiator and coordinator of Maker Academy at Kidspire, which was selected to be one of 100 most inspiring education innovations across the world in 2019. And she's a fierce advocate for providing equal opportunities for girls. And she's the first chapter ambassador for Technovation in Vietnam. And this year, a group of Vietnamese girls advanced to the regional finalists. And I know I saw the video of these girls creating an app to bring more access to orphan girls to give them access to books. That was an amazing app and an idea. Trame has been learning and applying mindful practices into her daily life from 2012, focusing more on the here and now. So I think we have a lot to learn from her. So welcome, Trame.
Yeah, thank you, Tara, and hello everyone who is watching this streaming videos. I'm really thankful for having me today. So,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we are there's so much to chat, so much to talk about. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will make sure to ask them. So to start off with, Travi, we were chatting a little bit. Tell us where you are from, and I will pull up a picture of on the map.
Okay. I'm grow up in Kontum. It's a rural, remote area in the central highland of Vietnam. So, uh, yeah,
And
okay.
and here
Yes.
are some pictures from there, which are so beautiful.
So there's another place, but it's nearby. It's in a different direction. But in Kontum also have a lot of forest and mountains.
You can look at it; it's all green over
Yes.
here. Um, that's amazing. So tell us more about your community, Trame.
Okay. So I think that to understand more about our community, so I want to tell a story about one of our students. So her name is Thư, and she is the youngest sister in a family of three siblings. So like her father is a drug addict,
Mm.
and he was sent to rehab many times. So her mother's like a flat away and have a new family. So three of them end up in an orphanage. So in Vietnam, we have more than 1.7 million children have a similar situation like Thư and her siblings. So that's some of backgrounds and what do they have in common. So they most of them are lack of hope and lack of the self-confidence, and they mostly behind their peer at the school 2 or 3 years, and they choose like they have a almost zero preparation for their career after they are leaving the orphanage.
Mm.
So most of them choose to work in the factories with the poor working conditions. So that's why Kidspire wants to work with them and help them to prepare for their future after they leave in the orphanages.
Yeah, and we're very proud to work with you, Trame, and to support because um, the world is built on the backs of women and girls, and they need support. So tell us what COVID has been like for these orphanages, and I know that the lockdown has caused all sorts of um, challenges. So tell us more about what it is like.
Yeah, it's also like of last year. the Vietnam government they control quite well, but so the number of the case is quite large. But the schools and the orphanages they also close and they reopen many times. So the students like they isolate in their place because no guests come in, and also the kids by teachers also restricted to come
Mm.
into and give in the classroom as well. So it's like but thanks to that time, we also rethink the way how we can connect with them. So we also successfully running the pilot distant learning programs for some of our orphanages. So we learn the valuable lessons so we can apply for this year. And and until now, where I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City, so it's in the south of Vietnam, and the government applies many restricted directives. So like right now, it's like still lockdown, and everyone must stay in home, just leave home in case of emergencies. So like it's really serious, and they said that it's last for 4 months already. So like now they will gradually open, and I hope that this will happen soon. So
I know
uh,
we were talking before that your daughter went to visit her grandmother in the summer and she's not come back to you yet.
yeah, and
That's hard.
yeah, and also a lot of children also have the same situation like that in Ho Chi Minh City.
So what is it like for an orphanage to be in lockdown? Like I think earlier you had said that these girls went back to their families, but I don't understand. Like some of them don't have a family, right? So where did they go?
Like they have a relatives, but the
Mm,
relatives actually some of them do not really care, and some of them just live
mm,
by themselves, and some of them also have a like of grandmothers or some, but they really old and they cannot
mm,
really take care of them, but and their family is really poor as well.
mm,
Like, but not all of them close. The other also the students staying there, and some orphanage also support them to for the distant
mm,
learning in the school as well. But some orphanage they like the shortage of the donation, so like they must to close, and it's really
mm.
like for the students, and
Yeah.
they do not know where to go. And we also find a way to send them to another place if the family is cannot support for their
Mm.
learning continue.
So, what did you find has been successful to keep the girls engaged and learning online? I know, like as you said, like it helped you test out some strategies. So, I know, like even access to technology is difficult, access to devices and internet. But what have you found working?
Yeah. So before like a Kidspire classroom already well equipped with some equipment, but
Mm,
like we still need to have like the teachers come in at least one like so they can help the student to set up everything, and also help the students to connect with the distant volunteers who can mentor them during the process, so that some of the ways we working with them because of the language barriers as well, so
mm.
we need to
Why
help them
language barrier?
because they cannot speak English, and
Mm.
the mentors from the Technovation they are the
Oh,
speakers, the English speakers. Normally we have the kids by teachers can speak Vietnamese and also have a Vietnamese volunteer as well, so they
mm,
come together with us. But like because of the social distance, so we cannot come together a lot of teachers and assistant teachers. But luckily that the orphanage they let at least one representative from Kidspire can come there
mm,
because of the small group, so they accept that.
I see. Um, and And what did you find in terms of the girls themselves that I think many times the ramp to using technology can be very steep, right? You have to learn how to like you said, like somebody helps the girls set up and get started. But even then, like building the mindset of confidence that I can solve something. Walk us through how you help say like the tomato team work. I mean, their app was amazing, their pitch video was amazing. I mean, you could make out the girls are have just so much potential. So tell us a little bit more about how you supported them.
So like before, they also joined into the Kidspire classroom as well.
Mm,
So we provide, at that time, we provide for the younger students two main programs. The first one is related to the digital literacy because most of them do not how to type or use computer as the beginning. So like we will teach them these kind of skills, and also we provide the called STEM and maker activities. So it's a really good one to help the student to felt and to learn because their living environment like they cannot do something wrong because they do something wrong they would
mm,
be punished or something,
mm,
but in our classroom we try to create that environment so for the student can fail fast and learn fast and can save to fail as well, and I
mm.
think to do that
It's a
is
cultural. Some
yeah.
many cultures have that as a barrier too, right? And I think it's a big thing for teachers themselves to learn that okay, for the teachers it's okay to fail too, and to say
Yeah,
okay, I
that's
don't know
right.
how to do this, right?
Yeah,
So what surprised you about bringing Technovation to these groups?
I think the most surprise is they go into the finalist, advanced more than 5,700
Yep,
5,700
5,000.
students. Yeah, that's right. Amongst of 60 countries. So I think that the most surprise because like when I received that news, it's like unbelievable. It's kind of magic because of I think that's surprise for us, but it's well deserved for them because beside the time they weekly meeting with the mentors, they also work with the Kidspire mentor as well, 3 times per week. So like they put really a lot of effort. And do you know that they mock up like a mock up act? They do it 33 pages for the mock up. So like I can say that the
That's
enthusiasm,
amazing. That's
yeah, and
amazing.
the energy. So that they really deserve for that.
That is so awesome to hear. And you know, every time we talk to the finalists, it's never um, because of the help they received or anything. It's just purely because of the amount of work the girls have put in. And that makes everyone feel so good because that means if you care about something, you will put in the work and you will you will be recognized, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where are these girls now? I know like in the lockdown, I mean it's been hard, but once things improve, will they come back? And then I'd love to know how what are you thinking? What is Kidspire thinking about supporting these girls moving forward?
So like they have 3 members in the teams. So one member's back to with her grandmother, and her grandmother still support her to go to the school. So we just keep contact with her and how see how going with her. And the other one is they that's the story from Thu. Thu is the one of the girls in the I told at the beginning. So she's back to home and stay with 3 of them, his brother, her brother, and her sister, and she. So like 3 of them learn by themselves, and the oldest ones must be like stop his learning. He might to go to the
Mm,
universities, but
mm,
he stopped learning and he go for work and to take care too of the younger sister.
mm.
And the third one is
How old is the brother? Do you know?
the brother is like of 18 now, and he's
I
the
see.
age of might be go to the
I see.
universities.
I see.
And he's also really love to learn as well. He's
Mm,
also one of our students as well. So like, and the rest of the girls, she's the oldest one, but she's just 14, and she
mm,
has 4 siblings. And recently, when we contact one of the auntie, she pick up 4 of them to come and stay with them. But like she do not go for school, but
mm,
she do go for work. So, but we also keep contact and see how
mhm,
going and support with them. So that the ways we keep because we have the local teacher there, and she also the mentors of that group of team
mm,
as well. So she have a close relationship with them and also contact with them ask the things and see how it's going with these
Mm.
girls.
Yeah, and I hope we can stay in touch so we can try to see how we can support them, and not just this team but the others
Yeah,
as well,
the
right?
other
So,
students.
Trame, tell us about your own journey as a champion for such girls and students.
Okay, so I think that I will tell a little bit long, but it's not so long because I want to have a full picture. So I will start my story with my grandma because she is also an orphan due to the war and she cannot go to school. And she learned by standing outside classroom and peer through the windows and see how the other kids and practice writing on the sand and banana leaves. And my
No
mom,
way.
yeah, that happened in the past. And also my mom, she also faced a lot of challenges about pursuing her education. Before she After she finished the seventh grade, she had to quit and sell fruits on the street to support the family with 9 siblings. So despite of these challenges, but they also decided to move forward and try hard. So they run their own business and take care for the families. And luckily that they raised me in the ways that always encourage me and my sister go on into the higher education. So at the beginning, I thought that I was grow up in Kontum, that quite a rural, remote areas. So we are limited about the information and technologies. So I was conditioned that I think that as a top student, I just become an engineer and doctor. So just 2 options. That's it. And so I end up with a master degrees in advanced materials,
Where did you
which
go to
is
university?
in Ho Chi Minh City as well. In
Hmm.
Ho Chi Minh
That
City of
itself is
University.
amazing, right, Trame? Like that coming from, like, is that normal, or is that a normal sort of, like, you're probably the first generation going to college, right?
I have one auntie, but she's just older than me, like 6 years old,
Mm-hmm. I see.
the youngest one.
I
So
see.
she is the first one.
I see.
So my sister and now me.
Mm.
So and after that have another generation also go to the universities.
Mm. But testament to your grandmother and mother's love for lifelong learning, right? That's why you have that passion too. Sorry, continue your story.
Okay, so after that, just there's one small problem is that I found out I do not feel happy working in the technology field. I do not want to die in the laboratory, only the machine around me. So I decided to quit that job and I took a gap year. And in the gap year, I found out Kidspire. And I see that the cause of Kidspire is really close to my heart. And I see that all of challenges from our families, from my grandma, from my mom, and from myself. I see also the challenges in the orphan children, in the underserved children. And I really want to become the person who never give up on their education and encourage them to learning and also go on to the higher education and have a happier life. And so they can break the cycle, bring them into the orphanages. And I wish that the orphanage can disappear in the
Yeah,
future. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, Trame. I think that's one of the most inspiring stories I've heard, and um, I think your legacy and your lineage, right, is showing that that's possible to do. So I'm so glad for these girls that they have you as their champion. Thank you for sharing your story. And I know that running a nonprofit or being part of it is not easy because social
Mm.
problems are so interconnected. It's not like launching a technology product. You have to think about so many different things in you working with people.
Yes.
So are you comfortable sharing a low point in your life, and how did you get through that?
Okay. So law points. I think that I will relate to the story when I choose with learning in the technologies universities.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, I chose that learn into become an engineer because most of the people around me say that technology is mostly for boys, not for girls.
Mm,
It's really challenging and you should rethink it and choose another major to follow. But I think that the girls also have a right to choose what they think that they can do. So I went to there, and I have to admit it that is quite challenge.
mm,
And I have a lot of pressure during the first 2 years because of the change in the living environment, and also the first years I failed tests and I failed many tests. So like really terrible about that. And I feel stressed. And I
mm,
remember that I one afternoon I come back to the home and I cry a lot and I told with my mom that I do not want to continue. I do not want to suffer on this pressure anymore. So she is the one encouraged me to try till the end to see how the result is. So after that a lot of conversation, and I decided to continue. And after like of changing the mindset about the learning, about the score as well, so I see that my result is get better. And
mm.
even when in the thesis defense I got an excellent result. So I think that the changing of the mindset
Yeah.
towards the learning is totally changing everything.
You know, I think that is such an important lesson. And I think even in the tomato team that you talked about before, that they worked hard, right? And if you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Um, I I do one martial arts like taekwondo, and it's very interesting. You have to break a thick board, and um, if you don't believe that you can break it, you will not break it. But if you believe you can, somehow it's not as if you suddenly have more strength or anything. It's just something that your mindset is so powerful, and it helps you do things that you didn't think capable. I think one thing that in the Technovation model that's powerful is that mentors believe in you, right? And I think more so than just access to content or curriculum, I think you need a human being, you need a parent, or you need a mentor to say you can do it. So, Trame, we have so much to learn from you. What is your advice for education organizations, leaders who want to support more disadvantaged communities or disadvantaged students?
Okay, so I think that with different situation we'll have a different advice, but I will give some insights from my perspective. It's like 10 years working in this field, so I give some things. I think that the first lesson is we must have some inner motivation, because I
Mm,
think that the stronger inner motivation, so we can go further. So that's the first one. And the second ones must be really understanding your communities, your underserved students. You want to serve them. So what's their pain points, what they really
mm,
need for. So, and the third one, I think that the power of the community as well.
mm,
Like it means that engage on the stakeholders, and they can come and engage and involve into that solution, into that cause as well, because you cannot do everything by yourself, right? So I think that three of the advice.
yeah. I think the first one is really important because that helps you bring other people into your circle, right? Like if you have a strong sense of purpose, then other people will follow you. So I think those are hard earned lessons and very, very, very apt. And I think the second one of listening to what the pinpoints are is also each one is different, right? Um,
Yeah.
that comes a little bit from actually working with them for a sustained period of time. Um, what is one story that inspired you and kept you going through COVID and now?
Okay. I think that I will choose the story also related to the girls, six team of girls who joined into the Technovation last year. It's like that the COVID comment, and the school closed and opens. So like orphanage also closed and opens, and we think that we have no way to accomplish the project. It's like the deadline is closed, and everything is like the girls just have a sort of the time, and everything is like of challenging. But like in I remember in March, So they let one of representative go inside of orphanage, so that the time is like we think about another way to help the girls. So we connect with the mentors from the distance, so they can mentor the girls. Normally, the volunteers they will travel to Vietnam as well, like
Mm.
they will support the girls as well, but now they cannot travel. So like we do the distant learning sessions with the girls with the support from the Kidspire mentor as well. So that of the things that make
Mm.
us like think another ways to keep going.
Yeah, I think that other people care, right? And we all the kindness in people is what sort of keeps us going, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's great.
so Trame, what is one book we should read to be better human beings?
Okay, so I read that book. It in Vietnamese, but I also saw that it's have in English as well. In Vietnamese, it have a name Thiền sư and và em bé 5 tuổi, and in English, it have a name that reconciliation,
Hmm.
healing the inner child. That
Hmm.
book
Oh
is
yeah, I see it. This one. Let me share my screen and see if this is the one. Um,
you know that's book. Okay, you can say that reconciliation.
is this the one?
Let's see. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, by
Right.
I can never say his name.
Thích Nhất Hạnh, Zen's Master, Thích
Thich
Nhất Hạnh.
Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yeah, that's right.
I love his books too. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing.
I in my bookstore I have like a 30 books of him. So like a lot of books of him as well. So I really love him, and I think that I recommend that book because after I
This
read
is
that
mine
book,
from him, but
yeah,
but this one I haven't read, so I'm going to read that one.
yeah, and I also like when I read after read that book, I see that I can heal in something
Mm,
inside of me, and also reconcile with a relationship. It's really important to me, but like
mm,
right now I cannot talk with that person right now, but at least I can heal the relationship between me and that person in the
mm,
past. So I can feel the peace and the love inside of me. So I think that
mm.
that's the most important thing. So I really highly recommend that book for
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you. And Trame, you have been focusing on mindfulness and intentionality. So, what is your advice for us? What should we be working?
Uh, it seems like Tara's you gone, you disappear. But I will continue your questions. Like of intention, we will focus on in this period of time. Ah, you back.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. But
Okay.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I will share that. I think that I will use the word connection. And
Mm,
the first one is connection with ourselves. This means that takes time every day to sit with ourselves and to reflect about the days and see the things happens inside of us, the good things and the bad things as well. So I really like journaling and reflecting
mm.
about the things so I can see myself and understand more about myself. And when we can see ourselves, so we can connect with other people better then. So that I think that just apply that.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. And as I've been growing older, I recognize that it's so important to digest your emotions and not just respond
Yeah.
in the moment, right? So I think the act of reflecting in the at the end of the day, journaling, that is that is something we can all practice. How do you find time to do that?
I in the afternoon, I think that when we see that something's important, so
Hmm,
we will take time to do it.
that's right.
So I think that it's not take so much time. It's just like a
Mm,
sit in silence for 15 minutes. So it's
mm,
not so long. And writing,
mm,
not if you cannot write every day, so you can write at least few days a week or something.
yeah.
And like I usually write about like a shadow of myself. It means that the bad side of myself as well. It's not the good side, but
Mhm.
also the bad side. So we can see that what we need to improve. And about the other people, instead of judging the other people, so we write the good things about the other
Mm.
people. So that's some of the exercise we can do with ourselves.
So much to improve, but I love that, right? Like focus on the good in others and what you can improve in yourself. So
Yeah.
that'll make the world kinder for everyone. All right, Trame, that was absolutely amazing. And thank you to everyone in the chat who encouraged and cheered for Trame's work and Kidspire's work. And I think, yeah, at the end of the day, we have to come together to help those who need our help, and we cannot do it alone. So it's only through crossing all these continents and barriers, right, and coming together. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Trame. How can we help you?
You asked me how to help us.
Yes.
I think that I think that we need to help like how to reach to more the orphan children, so they can receive the quality education and they can well prepare for their future after they are leaving the orphanages. I think that the most thing we really want to we want to connect with the orphanages throughout Vietnam, so and talk with them about the programs and can give for the children that programs. And also if anyone want to involve to help the cause, we really welcome for that as well.
Yep. We I recommend going to Kidspire. Do you have a website, Trame, that you want to tell us?
Okay,
Yep.
kidspire.vietnam.org.
Okay, we will go there. All right, thank you everyone, and have a great rest of your day, night, good evening, and have a good
Yeah.
weekend.
Thank you, Tara, and give a virtual hug to you
Oh,
and
totally.
everyone. Okay.